The six-step reframe has been renamed by John Grinder as the N-step reframe. The intention for doing so is that often in practice you might use some of the steps in a six-step reframe, not necessarily the whole 6 steps. There may be different combination of steps you might use. So he's called the N-step, keeping in mind that the number of steps that you use is variable, and that depends on the context and the person you're working with. Some people in the LP community say that the 6-step reframe or N-step reframe has been replaced by the swish. This indicates that they haven't actually really understood what 6-step or N-step reframing is for. They typically think, oh well, we can use a 6-step reframe to change a habit, to change a behaviour, and the swish is another way of changing a habit, and it can be done very quickly. So therefore the swish supersedes or replaces 6-step reframing. What's interesting is when you actually understand how 6-step or N-step reframing works, it uses intention. So for any behaviour, or it could be a state, it could be a belief, if you have the unconscious mind has identified the intention or intentions for that behaviour, that state, that belief, then the unconscious can generate alternatives that fulfill the intention or the intentions. So it's not just about changing behaviour. You could use it to change a belief. You could use it to change a state. You could use it for, let's say, designing a new product. So the critical thing, the big leverage point, or two of the leverage points with 6-step reframing, one is the use of intention, so that you've got more scope for alternatives. And the second, of course, is the engagement of the unconscious mind in terms of generation of alternative behaviours. If we take the second idea, the engagement and activation of the unconscious, that is extremely useful in terms of the unconscious does not have the limitations or the restrictions of conscious attention. Remember, conscious attention, our awareness, conscious awareness is limited to 7 ± 2 chunks of attention. And the unconscious doesn't have those constraints. So if we want to generate resources, then it's far more useful to engage the unconscious, in that the unconscious can explore far more broadly in terms of finding alternative behaviours and the development of resources. If anything, if you understand the principles of 6-step or N-step reframing, then you can apply those ideas with other patterns in NLP to do creative work with people. So it certainly hasn't been replaced, and it certainly hasn't been superseded.